Last April, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx announced she wouldn't seek a third term in office. Last Tuesday, the voters elected retired Justice Eileen O'Neill Burke to take over. With just 2.5 weeks left on her term, State's Attorney Foxx sat down with me. She looked back at her 8 years in office, talked about her critics, and the rocky road she's had as the first black woman to ever hold that honor.
I was wildly optimistic in 2016 that, there was a mandate for change, and the people put their faith and belief that I could do it.
Faithfully discharge the duties.
Faithfully discharge the duties.
Of the office of State's Attorney.
Of the office of State's Attorney.
December 1st, 2016, Chief Cook County Judge Timothy Evans swore in Kim Foxx as the first African-American woman to ever hold the office.
Today, I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm reflective on how much I've grown as a leader in the last 8 years, how much was possible that I didn't even believe in my wild optimism in 2016 that we could accomplish.
Foxx gives herself an A when it comes to what she's accomplished 8 years later. She and her office abolished cash bail in Illinois, legalized marijuana. She says she's righted the wrongful convictions of hundreds of men and women and prosecuted cop killers, among other things. So why leave?
Because I believe that leadership should recognize when it's time to go.
She's leaving her post November 30th, passing the torch to the newly elected Eileen O'Neill Burke, who she has met with and wishes well.
It's not for the faint of heart to sign up for this job, having watched what it has looked like to lead over the last 8 years, tell me that she's committed to wanting to do good work. And so I'm rooting for her.
Foxx took office during a tough time for the city. She beat Anita Alvarez, who lost following the chaos surrounding the murder of teen Laquan McDonald by police officer Jason Van Dyke.
The reality is, when I came into office in 2016, it was the bloodiest year since 1999. I came in December 1st. By December 1st, there had been over 700 homicides in the city of Chicago. You can't pin that on State's Attorney Foxx. But 2017, 18, and 19, violent crime went down year over year, every year. And exploded in 2020, coincidentally, when we had a global pandemic. And then for the last 2 years, crime has gone down.
According to crime stats from Chicago Police, violent crime from 2016 compared to 2023 went down by close to 3%. Foxx admits she's had a few bumps in the road during her 2 terms.
But when you are breaking glass ceilings, if you will, it requires cuts to the head. My scalp has a lot of wounds related to that. But if you want to have monumental change, you got to take the blows.
One of the biggest, perhaps, actor Jussie Smollett's fake hate crime case in downtown Chicago in 2019. A case the office mishandled and led to the prosecutor recusing herself. Named Special Prosecutor Dan Webb called it a disaster.
Judge Tooman, when he appointed me, said the reason he was appointing me was to restore the public's confidence in the judicial system.
Webb ended up investigating her and her office. He wanted her out.
I ended up winning re-election against a formidable opponent by 20 points. I listen to the people for whom I serve. And I recognize that my leadership, my presence as a black woman, as the first black woman, the only black woman in this state to hold this position, that it would draw a level of scrutiny that my peers wouldn't receive.
She faced criticism on the no cash bail concept that eventually passed. Those opposed, like 2022 GOP Illinois gubernatorial candidate Darren Bailey, wanted nothing to do with it.
Soon, all of Illinois will look like Chicago, like a scene from a horror film come to life.
But she says she expected that criticism and more, being the first black woman in this office. It's not the worst that's happened to her, though. Here's some things that she never made public. What would you say was the worst part of this tenure?
The death threats to me, to my children, the racialized, sexualized death threats or threats of violence to me, people doxing my home, just a true intrusion of privacy, not being viewed as a mother, as a woman, as a human.
Foxx also went through a divorce while in office. Although it's been a rocky road, she says none of this has kept her from doing her job. She kept a lot of it private because it's what she signed up for.
I was raised by, a good Baptist grandmother who told us to be humble, and I am humble. But, Micah, we radically changed the criminal justice system in Cook County and the country. We radically changed it.
So what's next on her course?
I'm going to do something really radical. It is a radical thing that I've committed to doing as a black woman leader, and that's rest. I'm going to rest.
Fox did talk about the recent presidential election a bit. She believes with the election of Donald Trump, Illinois could see a huge decrease in federal funding. She also says she's rooting for Mayor Brandon Johnson. She says his decision to get rid of ShotSpotter may not have been such a bad idea. It could encourage folks to trust more in their police department and call them when they hear shots being fired.